Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about something that I think is the number one most important factor when you are doing financial analysis as an accounting and finance professional or even student. And that rule is very simple. It is always look to conclude, always look to provide a conclusion, something that people can act on. So, what do I mean by this? When I started my career, I was doing financial analysis. I was looking at the number, income statement, balance sheet, calculating variances, and sharing variances. But what I was doing was mostly sharing the results, sharing the numbers, and not providing my own input or my own conclusion, right? My own recommendations. And I've noticed that this is very common. It's not just with me, but a lot of the accounting and finance professionals end up doing that. I don't know why. Maybe it's the way we have been trained during our education, is that we are thinking about all the risk factors and all the possibilities and documenting them, right? So, for example, if you're gonna get a question in exam about financial analysis, you would like to list out all the possible risks and all the other factors that need to be considered, which is great, which is good that you are thinking about it holistically and you are not missing out on any important piece of information. But the problem is that in real life, your business partners, your GMs, your operations managers, they expect you to provide solutions, right? Not additional questions to ask. So when you are providing the financial analysis, they expect you to tell them almost exactly what they need to do, right? Or give them very few options based on your analysis. You can still provide all the detail of the numbers and the risk factors and opportunities, but in the end they want your conclusion. It's very similar to going to a doctor. When you go to a doctor and you tell them your problem, if they start telling you what could possibly be the causes and maybe you should perform a certain test and maybe you should also do another test just in case to rule out this factor, all of that information is good. But if they don't provide you a diagnosis, if they don't provide you a conclusion and what really you need to do, the real action steps that you need to do, you need to take a certain medicine, you need to change your lifestyle in a certain way, until that information is provided to you, you will not be satisfied. I mean, you don't want a very knowledgeable doctor who can tell you what could possibly have happened and give you multiple options. What you would rather prefer is somebody who knows what they're doing and tell you exactly what to do, right? This is similar in our professional lives. We are also expected to provide financial guidance. So when you are doing your analysis, or let's take an example, let's say you have been asked to do a feasibility of opening up a new branch in a certain location. Now, this could be a tough decision because you have to consider a lot of factors in there. What is the investment involved? What would be the forecasted revenue or forecasted demand in that location? Will that location be profitable? If yes, in how many years? What would be the NPV, net present value, or IRR, the internal rate of return? What would be the payback? Now, if you do all the calculations and share the results of all the calculations, you have done almost half of the job. But really, what you should be focusing on is analyze it as if it is your own business and then come up with a conclusion and share that conclusion. Do not be afraid to share that conclusion. You may not be always right, especially when you start doing this, when you start giving conclusions. Maybe you may end up having a wrong conclusion, but that's how you will learn, right? So you share your conclusion and then you start tracking. If that investment is approved and the company goes ahead with that investment, then you track. And this is where your learning will happen, because you made a certain conclusion and now you have results which you can compare with what you concluded or recommended at the beginning. And from there on, you can start improving, because as you climb up the finance career ladder, you will become a decision maker, you will become a leader whose input will be valued, and the company will be making decisions based on your recommendation. And you would be the most important resource as far as numbers, amounts, finances are concerned. I failed an interview for a job. Part of the interview process was an assignment that was given to me, an Excel file in which they had their data, and they wanted me to present on their data in front of 3 of their finance members. Now, I, in my own view, did a very nice presentation. I knew how to do variance analysis, so I did the variance analysis including price, volume, and mix. And all of that information was there, and I was also showing the trends and seasonality. But what I was lacking was conclusion, and I didn't know at that point. I thought I did a great job, and I was surprised when after that presentation they just told me that I've not been selected, and I couldn't understand what went wrong. So I asked them, and what I was told was that we clearly asked you for making recommendations to the business based on this information, and that is what was lacking. And to be honest, even at that point, after receiving that reply from them, I still didn't understand. But over the course of a few years later in my career, having dealt with business leaders, I realized that often what they are looking for are real recommendations, real actions that they need to take. So this is a skill, and you need to develop it, and you need to start doing it immediately, right? So wherever you can, wherever you have feeling that you can maybe share some conclusion, make some recommendations, start doing now, even if you are at a junior level right now. So get in the habit of making recommendations, making solid decisions, and then track them, track your decisions, see how wrong or right you have been in the past. This will be your best source of insights going forward. And if you continue to do this for a few years, over time, you will see that your decision making has improved significantly and your value to the organization has improved significantly. This could be a difference between a good finance professional and an excellent and outstanding finance professional. Now, at senior finance positions, this is a given. Nobody even talks about it because this is understood that you have to provide recommendations. But what happens is that at the start of our career and the transition to, say, middle management, this is something that many of us don't realize is our role. So that is my message. I wanted to share this message with you so that you do not ignore focusing on that area and you start taking action on this immediately and start providing your financial advice and recommendation based on the analysis that you have done immediately. This will also tell you the areas that you need to improve. If you are not comfortable making any recommendation, it means that there is something in your analysis that is missing. And that's where you need to learn and improve your skills. And my channel could be one source of the help you need. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe and start watching the videos that I share. Leave your comments and feedback if you find this information helpful, and if there are any other areas that you would like me to make videos or audios about. Have you ever thought about this, that maybe this is an area you could improve on? Maybe you are doing all the analysis and you're sharing the numbers, but you're not providing recommendations and advice for business to take actions on. If that is the case, let me know in the comment section. And with that, I would say goodbye for now. We'll talk to you in the next video.